3 yards yesterday in ball ground. He did the rental, did Mom and Dad's, and did mine. And then it was kind of like, it'll be to do again in 2 weeks if it keeps raining like this. When is kind of the final grass cutting of the year?
Well,
when do people kind of say we're done?
It depends on what you have. If you've got fescue, you can cut all the way up to about Halloween. If you've got Bermuda, it's usually about done in the 1st of October. We cut 16 yards yesterday. So
wow, wow.
probably do that many this afternoon if I can get out of here in time.
Goodness gracious. And if it doesn't start back. But
Yeah.
we're watching the weather closely because we're going on this road trip Saturday. We're
you're gonna
really
get wet
excited.
Saturday.
I know, that's what they're saying, thunder showers.
Yeah.
Now, I don't drive in rain unless I absolutely have to. People know that about me. I'm very, very nervous about it.
You shouldn't be driving at all.
I knew he was going to do that.
Really?
I will say, yesterday I've been working on this little segment I want to do, and it starts at the Old Dixie Inn in Woodstock and comes to Ellijay. And from Ellijay, then we're going to go on to Fannin County. And it talks about how we used to get to where we're going on Old Highway 5. Well,
Yeah.
you sure couldn't
was
drive
great.
like y'all drive today, because if you did, you would be in jail in Holly Springs, you would be in jail in Canton, you would be in jail in Ball Ground, you would be in jail in Tate, and you would be in jail in Jasper, and then you'd be held again in Talking Rock, because every little district had those little police,
Yeah.
and we had those little speed limits. Now, we talked about the fact that many of y'all moved up here after 515 opened and after 575 opened. That means y'all never did that trip where you had to watch your speed all the time. I can just see y'all. I can just see y'all on Highway 5 trying to do this. You couldn't do it.
How is it you continue to stay out of jail?
I was very lucky and very persuasive. I did get a few speeding tickets, and we talk about that a lot, and y'all think I'm a speed demon. I just had this little lead foot, see, but I was always in a hurry. And something I've learned now in life, slow down, hang on, just sit back and enjoy what you've got.
I don't believe you.
I'm doing better.
When I
Say,
leave-
Cherie, I'm proud of
When,
you.
no, I'm not yet, because when I leave this place, and I'm about half, I'm in Talking Rock.
Yeah, sure.
Here she
You'll
comes,
have a-
zoom, and the truck just rocks it back
Gilbert
and forth.
County,
and
you
I'm
are
thinking,
not
what in the
listening to
world?
this. You
There's
are
a
not
black
listening
street
to
headed down the road.
I have
Well,
really calmed down.
You're the little old lady from 515 for a reason.
That's
So,
right. That's right. That's right. But really and truly,
Don't
y'all,
believe her, folks.
you don't know what it's like to drive 5. Highway 5 was the big deal. And it took over 2 hours to go into Atlanta. Now we can get there in 55 minutes. 55 minutes.
Well,
Big difference.
I hear you're lobbying the governor to change the speed limit to 95 miles an hour.
Well, nah, about 78 would be good.
That's about it.
Yeah, but you know what? One thing that has happened during all this rain, maybe all the oil is washed off the roads now. There
Maybe.
can't be anything left on the
Well, there's
roads.
mud on the road now.
Well, the first 2 days of rain, everything is slick, slick, slick. And somewhere, somehow, some way, my windshield has a little ding in it, and it must be from something on the road, and that I was not happy.
It's hard to drive these days without getting your windshield dinged up.
Well, I was not happy, but it's got to be fixed now. So
Did you see the pictures on the news at Clarkdale Elementary down in
it was
Austin?
unbelievable.
It was almost.
It was completely underwater.
I mean, the
Yeah.
roof was almost underwater.
And
Unbelievable.
basically, I don't know. I mean, I'm allergic to everything, so I could never go back in that building.
I thought you was
And-
going to say you're allergic to water.
No, no, but I'm allergic to any kind of mold, mildew, any kind of old smell, you know, and I know that I could never go in a building like that.
They said there's over 13 or 14,000 homes already declared
Yeah.
flooded in that area.
The only good thing about that, and y'all know, it will bring jobs back.
Well, yeah.
It will bring jobs
That's
back, and it may be what takes the little kick we're waiting on for the real estate market, because if you have a house on the market today, somebody might be wanting to leave the Nancy Creek, Peachtree Creek area, and they might want to move to Jasper, Georgia.
Well,
so
let me ask you
it
this,
has
though.
its, you know, we hate that lives were lost. I mean, that was terrible.
You know those folks that had their houses flooded, once they get a little fixer-upper done, they're going to put it up for sale. Knowing that, would you buy a house like that?
I sure would not. No, but I lived in that neighborhood. I mean, I grew up in Morningside, where it was nothing for our place to be flooded. And we were close to Nancy Creek and close to Peachtree Creek,
Yeah.
and quite often it flooded. So, and you know, it's one of those things, they can't reroute the creek. Could they dig it a little bit deeper? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but they said this time 15 to 21 feet above flood stage. Is that ever going to happen again? Maybe
well,
not.
You know, it runs in cycles, they say every 20 years or so, or sometimes every 100 years. But you figure 20, I was thinking about this morning, 20 years passing, people forget things.
Oh, I
and
don't.
You get new generations of people coming in.
Listen, I was a teenager when we lived in Morningside, and I can remember, like it was yesterday, walking around to the dining room, opening the door to go down to the laundry area, and honestly, the water was up to the 5th step. And I'm like, Mama, Aunt Lou, come here, you won't believe this. And everything was floating.
You couldn't call about it because that was before the telephone. What year was that?
1840, when I was a child. Yeah, Bill. You got me. You got me. You know, I look good for my age, don't I?
Yes, that Cherie Stay makeup. A double dose of it, actually.
Cherie Stay makeup. I'm going to whip you. Well, we are here today to talk to a lot of ladies. You'd think today was Ladies' Day. Do you want to just leave and I'll bring a lady on to co-host?
Well, I may have to. Maybe more than I can handle. So.
Well, maybe not. We're going to talk today about being beautiful. I call you beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, I do call you beautiful blue eyes. This is a book that's written by a local lady. A lot of things we do, most of what we do is local. Now, we've been working on getting a young man on who's not quite local. He's from Covington, Georgia. His name is Logan Smith.
That's Georgia.
We're really working hard to get this kid to come and be on the studio. Freddie called and talked to him. They had been to the National Quartet Convention. If I played his music for you right now, you would think somebody from our past was singing. And I'm going to ask a trivia song. Somebody from my past that I loved her music. And quite often on the Jubilee, they would open with her music, and she was one of those, this kid sounds just like her. Now, did you hear what I said? He's a he, she's a her, but
Must be a tenor.
he can do amazing, and he is 12 years old. So we hope.
Oh, his voice ain't changed yet.
No, his voice hasn't changed yet. You know, I thought about that. When you listen to him today, when he's 19, what will he sound like?
He'll sound like Mike Holcomb then, right?
Maybe, maybe. And you know, starting out as young as he did, he has been out with the Gaithers. He has been doing some work with them. But he is from Covington, Georgia. So if you have a computer, look up Logan Smith, go to YouTube, and listen to this kid sing, because in the near future, we hope to have him sitting right here. Amazing talent, amazing talent. Now, at 12 years old, could you have stepped up on stage in front of 80,000 people and sung?
No. I didn't even get confidence to stand in front of people till I was probably around 30 years old.
You're kidding. Isn't that strange?
Scared to death.
Wow, that doesn't. Now, y'all, you
Scared
see
to
how he
death.
gets me. Does he act like he's scared of anything? Yeah, right. Well, today, I've had a lot going on, and I've had a lot of things happen, some that kind of, I almost got took down a day or two. You know, that's not me. That's just not me. But I let some things happen that bothered me, affected me, made me cry, made me throw things. I haven't thrown things in a long time. And I said, okay, get over it, move on, let's go. So I'm going to read you something. It is called, How Can I Improve All My Relationships? And remember, anything we share with you is from the Lakewood Church out in Houston, Texas. These are Joel Osteen's writings, and Joel happens to be kind of, I start my day with him. Last night, Freddie read me something from him that was very inspirational.
Oh, he stays at your house, does he?
No, listen here. No. Don't start that. Joel does. Yeah.
You said you start your day with him?
Yeah, I do. Every morning he sends me an iPod.
Oh, I thought he'd sleeping in that other back room over there
And I'm
somewhere.
going to tell you, you can get the same thing I get. It comes through our computer, I think about midnight every night. And you just, it's what you need every day. It's this little uplifting. And today, I think we all need to be uplifted. Every single person watching us has got somebody in their life that's been difficult. Now,
you think?
You think. So I chose this one. I have never read this one before, but I think it's very appropriate. And the verse that goes with this is, love never fails, 1 Corinthians 13:8. Okay, we all have people in our lives that are difficult at times. Imagine that. Maybe it's someone you work with, a family member, or even your spouse. Relationships can be complicated, but remember, love never fails. The Word of God clearly defines love in 1 Corinthians 13. It says that love is patient and kind. It doesn't seek its own way. Love doesn't keep a record of wrongs. And most importantly, love never fails. Notice that this chapter doesn't talk at all about how you feel. God's love isn't about feelings, it's a choice. You can choose to be patient even when you don't feel like being patient. You can choose to be kind even when you don't feel like being kind. No matter what situation you find yourself in, you can choose love. You are never more, where'd it go? You are never more like God than when you are walking in love. And when you are walking in love, you will never fail because love never fails. Open your heart to God's love today. Ask Him to show you how to love others better. As you walk in love, you'll find peace and live in victory all the days of your life. Now, that pretty much sums it up.
Where's he find time to write all this stuff?
I don't know, but I'm so proud he does. I could just nearly shout. Okay, the prayer for today is, Heavenly Father, thank you for your love, which never fails. Thank you for loving me so that I can be free to love others. Empower me by your Spirit to walk in love no matter what I may face today. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, we've been facing a lot in the last 10 days. But last night, our phone was ringing till almost 11 o'clock. People calling to check on Ange, calling to check on me. Everybody knew I've had it's been a tough week. We've had a lot of things go on that, quite honestly, just nearly took me down, and it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I'm going to walk in love, I'm going to walk in faith, and I'm going to be fine. A lot of you are worried about me, and I'm catching that on your emails. I promise, Miss Loretta, I'm going to be fine. I got a message from Doyce and Loretta. They said they pray for me every night. I know you do. I thank you so very, very much. Lisa Savage up in Turtletown, they worry about me. Y'all all do, and thank you, because this has been the toughest week of my life. I told y'all I'm going to wear pink and black every day until Angela gets her diagnosis finished, until we're done, until we're through. We know what we're dealing with. We also know what path we think we'll be taking, but until we know, I'm going to wear pink and black every day. Now, y'all don't know it, but I've got 3 closets full of black jackets. So you're going to see a different black jacket every day, and I've got a whole lot of pink shirts. So you may get very tired of pink and black.
You got the poodle skirt?
No, I don't. But we should know 7 days from Monday. I would say by next Tuesday, I'll be back to wearing black and blue. but we, you know, in honor of everybody who's ever lost a battle to cancer, everybody who has overcome cancer, everybody who is fighting every single day of their life, and the new slogan, the logo that everybody has on these brown shirts with pink says, "Fight like a girl." You got a bunch of women right now. We are fighting, and we think she will overcome this. I've heard so many positive stories about cervical cancer. Thank goodness it is one of those that's caught with a pap test. And every single woman out there, if you haven't had a pap test this year, get yourself an appointment. Go to the doctor. I was late. I was 2.5 years late with my pap test. No excuse for that. Absolutely none. Cancer runs in our family. That is stupid to not do it on a timely manner. So, and everybody knows I love mammograms. Lord, I love to have them things. Go get you one of them too. That's so much fun. But it matters to your family. You need to take care of yourself. And Angela was one of those. She knew she had problems, and I kept saying, go to the doctor. Mom, I don't have time. Mom, I don't have time. Take time for yourself. Please take time for yourself. And more than that, take time for your family.
You sure she's not a man?
No, she's stubborn though. She's a little stubborn. But we have to say good morning to Ange. I know you're watching, and went by yesterday to check on her. She was sleeping well, and her guard dog let me in. Now that dog doesn't even like me. She calls it my grand dog, but it doesn't like me because it knows I used to have a lot of dogs. I ain't got time for a dog now.
Not even the dogs like you.
Yeah, the dog it knows that I always, get out of my way, Misty, get out of my way. So yesterday she said, did the dog let you in? Well, yeah, the dog opened the door for me. But
dogs can spot mean people from a mile away.
She is there at home resting comfortably. She has been in tons of pain. But she's sleeping and resting, and she will be here for a very short time tomorrow. Tomorrow is Freddie Friday. Freddie will be my co-host, but Dan Elliott's going to be here, and Ange says, Mom, I got to be there because Dan is my buddy. So tomorrow will be a good, positive day. You'll get to see her. More than that, she will get to thank you publicly for your prayers, for your cards, for your letters, for your emails, and for the food, the flowers, the whatever. You know, it has been an amazing week, and thank you so much for helping us through it because it has been one tough week. So.
Well, there's another week coming.
There's another week coming, and I see good things happening.
I brought
Now,
some things
something
for you.
good happened in Tate, Georgia. I happened to be there at the lowest point of my life. At the lowest point of my life.
Well, you needed it, didn't you?
I needed that singing worse than anything, so we're going to encourage y'all. Find a good singing. I can tell you where there's one at this Sunday. It's at First Baptist Church in Jasper. It is called the Jasper Singing Convention. This was called Mike Holcomb Homecoming.
This was the first time that I remember that the inspirations came for a long, long time to Jasper.
Actually
Actually,
to
it's
Tate.
to Tate, Georgia.
Yeah.
And the thing at the Tate Gym, our group opened for them that day. And
Boy, aren't the acoustics good there.
oh yeah, if you notice this picture right
Aren't
here.
the seats comfortable, but we love that building.
If you
Lord,
notice
we
the
love
picture
that
at the bottom
building.
right here, that's Matt Dibler and myself. That was one of probably the first time I had met him, and we sang before they did, and
We did.
had a great time.
It
Had a
was
great time.
amazing. It was amazing.
Both of these are the same singing, but this was on their tour where they were doing the Pure Vintage tour. So,
Right. That's the seat that has overwhelming joy on it.
There you go.
Number 4. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, find yourself a good gospel singing to go to this week. If anything will lift your spirits, that will. And if you can't sing, I can't sing. Y'all know I can't sing. It doesn't matter. You can sit there and pat your foot if you can keep in rhythm. I can't do that either. You know, they ain't a whole lot of musical going about me. That's why I like to hang out with the Kaylors.
Can you play tambourine?
No, absolutely not. Can't do anything
know those older
musical. I
pictures?
can use the radio.
Those pictures of you when you was younger, you look like a tambourine girl.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like a dang hippie is what I
kinda-
look like.
You kind of favor Grace Slick a little bit.
Yeah. I had actually,
But you
it's
don't now.
funny because I have on pink today. In home ec, in the 9th grade, I had to make an outfit, and I chose, of all colors, pink, pink. Then you had to wear it to school. That was embarrassing, but pink has always been my color. Today, it is my signature color because we are fighting for Angela's life. And pink and black, I will be wearing it until we get her results. We're looking for positive things and nothing but positive things. Right now, we're going to take a break, and we're going to go to the community calendar. Today's community calendar is brought to you by the Blue Star Supermarket in Jasper, the best prices in town. We talked about the fact that if you need to take food to the funeral home, or if you have somebody like Ange who's just been in the hospital, you can call them and order a ham, a roast, a baked turkey, a chicken, whatever. They have all kinds of things going on that they can cook and prepare for you, and you pick it up, show up with it at people's door, and they think you've worked yourself to death. It's a great plan. Right now, let's go to the community calendar.
They tell me of a home far beyond the skies. Oh, they tell me of a home far away. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of an unclouded sky. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Oh, they tell me that he smiles on his children there, and this smile drives their sorrows all away. And they tell me that no tears ever come again in that lovely land of unclouded day. Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of an unclouded sky. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Oh, the land of cloudless day. Oh, the land of an unclouded sky.
Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise.
Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day.
Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise.
Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Shining every day.
We're back. Okay, Bill rags me about being from the 1800s. Where did you round these ladies up at?
Oh, they were in
Did
the
you
lobby
do
out there.
this to just test what I would have looked like in the 1800s?
No.
No. Do you think I would have looked like that in the 1800s?
Don't bring them down like
I'd
that.
have had a pink hat on. I deal with it. I'd have had a pink hat on. I might have had a pink flowery hat. I went up last year to Cut Cane Road, and we shot a story about a wagon train. And in that wagon train were just a bunch of guys traveling around. They started in Ball Ground, Georgia, and they went up to North Carolina. Well, that day, some of them told me, you need to come back in the fall because we do a special from church to church. Wagons and people walk. Now, they walk kind of dressed like y'all, is that right?
Ma'am.
Okay, tell me the name of the churches that are involved.
Well, New Mount Gilead is where we go to church, but we start our walk from New Mount Gilead Church and walk down to Van Hook Church where the revival starts and the old timers.
And how long will this revival run?
Well, we normally run it a week, but just whenever the Lord says stop.
Okay. Now, do different preachers in the area participate in this?
Yes, we've got one out of Mildrige this year that I don't know, I'm sure you probably know him. It's Jerry Banks. He'll be there this year. And then the rest of them is out at Middle Bluff and Blue Ridge and out of Blairsville.
Now, how many wagons will participate and how many people will walk during this event?
Well, that I couldn't exactly say, but I don't know how many wagons be there because somebody usually comes in, different times and joins in with us. Now, I don't know what year it was, but we had 75 people walking that year, but now we've just had little bunches walking, but one year we had 75 walking and riding their horses and riding in the buggies, and the older ones that can't walk while they ride in the buggies, and then the rest of them ride their horses and walks.
How many years has this been going on?
This year will make 24 years.
Wow. How many years have you participated?
I've been there every year.
Isn't that amazing? Now, how many years have you participated? Same thing. Wow. Okay, now, out of these little churches, are they little tiny country churches? I didn't get to see the churches while we were up there. We just talked about it.
It's just a small church. It was built there. Say they didn't have a church there at first, and they had service, and we have a decoration every year there. And they didn't have a church there. They always had service and stuff out in the cemetery, and they decided to build a church, and so wasn't no church or nothing going on in it. And so me and Scott Ware and Brother Forrest Key, we got to talking. That little church was sitting down there, and nothing is sitting there, and decided to start the lamp-lighted revival.
And
that'll
you
be 24
said
years.
You said lamplight when we were talking about earlier. Does that mean y'all don't use electricity that
No,
day?
ma'am. It's a lamp lighted all
The whole
in there.
thing is.
It's lamp lighted.
Well, now what time does it start?
It starts at 7 o'clock, the service, but the walk starts at 6 from New Mount Gilead Baptist Church. Everybody meets up there, and we leave there and walk down to the Van Hook Church.
Now, to get there, do you go 60 to Cut Cane Road, hang a right, and go out there about how far?
I don't know, about a mile or 2 miles, maybe something. I'm not good
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's
a
beautiful
beautiful
out there.
area.
If the preaching ain't no good when it gets started, do you start walking again? You just walk right out.
Hush now, Bill.
Now, hadn't had that experience yet, but I guess if wasn't satisfied with it, we would. We start out. We walk also, we walk every night. We just don't walk that Sunday night. We walk every night, back in the dark at night. And so we scare people and walking, because we've had people from all around come and join us, out of different states and stuff. It's come in and walk with us. But we walk back every night if it ain't raining.
What day now is this? It
starts the first Sunday night in October, which is 4th, which will be Sunday night from this week.
Okay, all right. And we want to encourage people to come. Now, is there a phone number if people have questions, want to know a little bit more about it?
Well, they could call me at 706-374-6563, and I don't know a number right off another. I can't.
That'll work. That one number.
Cherie, you don't need to go with them, though.
Why?
People think you're out trick-or-treating.
will spank you.
Well, we would just love to have
They
her.
would.
We'd put her on the horse. We'd let her.
Yeah,
we'd let
that'd be
her-
one big horse.
We'd let her ride the horse. You know, she could ride the
Well,
horse.
Clydesdale, right?
I'm gonna warn y'all about something. When I was on Cut Cane Road, we didn't get lost exactly, but we were looking for where we needed to be. We took a little turn and we ended up on the North Carolina line. I saw the biggest snake I have ever seen in my life on that road, and I'm telling you, if you got in a long dress and that snake needs somewhere to hide, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. But it is, the day we were talking about that, they explained this to me and said, you need to come back and experience this.
Yeah, on that Sunday night, we do have the wagons and everything. Well, now, every night they don't bring the wagons, but we walk every night. Anybody that wants to walk and join in with us, they can walk every night and walk down to that church, walk back at night, back up to that church. So we always do it every 5 days, walk down there. And it's really an experience because a lot of these young people, you know, don't know, and you go in there with the lamp all lit, and oh, I can't see. I know I've had several of them. Goodness, I can't see. How are you going to see how to do this or that? But you know, we were raised up with the lamp lights until I don't remember how old we were, but we was on up in age before we ever got any electricity. So we're used to all this. We know what it is, but we're trying to show the younger people how we are blessed today to have things that we can go that. We walked to church. That's the only way we had to go to church was get out and walk. We had to walk. I mean, my sister and I and all. Well, they'd be the teenagers and all would be the roads would just be full of people walking. So that's the only way we had to go was to walk. So we was trying to let these younger people realize and see how it was back then to how we're blessed today, you know. But I'm proud of the way I was raised, and I thank God that that I was grounded in learning this stuff because it's good experience, you know. So that's what we was trying to get over to the young people. They ought to be thankful, you know.
What's the distance between the two churches?
Oh, about a half a mile, I
Okay.
guess, maybe a little over that, something like that. We used to start from my house, which was about 2 miles, but as the older we got,
I'm with you.
We sort of had to give that up a little bit. She's tell them how old you are, Mildred.
80-year-old.
80 years old.
You're still younger than her.
Yeah.
I walked with them for up to the last 2 years.
Wow, wow.
Do you think young people today, if the electricity went off for about a week and the water was turned
Ooh,
off,
hush
they would
now.
make it?
I don't think they would survive.
No.
Really, I'm telling you, that's what when I raised my children, I tried to teach them. You know, you never know. It's just like what's going on now. I know it's bad, but we need to thank God for the rain. We need to thank Him for the good times and the bad times, because He knows what we need and He knows how to provide stuff. We don't understand this, but God only does. But if parents now would teach these children, you know, how it was back then and let them understand, and then if something does come, well, nowadays kids, some of them don't even know how to boil water. You know.
She can't do it, but she can't do without electricity.
No, I
really
can't.
Oh,
Did
yes,
y'all
you
hear?
could.
Do you get ETC service where you
No,
live?
ma'am, I don't. I
Well,
wish
I
I
gotta
did.
tell you this story. Last year, during a bad winter, wasn't it? It was when it was
Yeah.
so cold and the electricity went off. I have a garage door opener that is electric. Well, it was like 2 minutes before I'm supposed to leave to drive to the studio to do live TV. I have no electricity. So I called my contractor who built my house. He said, go out there and pull that red thing. It's for emergency. I did and broke it. So the door still didn't open. And I'm sitting there thinking, why in the world am I stuck at home and I can't get to work? Without electricity, I couldn't even get out of my garage door. And I decided, I analyzed it, and I analyzed it really good, and I said, brand new Suburban, I'm going through that door with that brand new Suburban. And whatever damage it does to this house, I'll just pay for. And I'm sitting there thinking, idiot, why can't you get the electricity to work? It didn't. And I'm sitting there in the car about to back out through the garage door and the lights came on. So the good Lord took care of me because He knew I was fixing to tear the dickens out of a garage door.
Oh.
But we get used to things like that.
I know, it
Who'd
gets
have thought?
spoiled.
You can't even get out of your door if you don't have it. electricity.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's very true.
Can't put your makeup on either.
No, I gotta have one of them. Oh, you're so mean to me.
But that's true. And if people would realize just what people did
Little
go
things,
through
yeah.
and just how blessed you are today comparing to back then. I'm thankful to the way I was raised. We had a hard time. We had to raise everything and do everything on our own. You know, Dad and Mom raised us, and we know how to do. So
Did you
if the-
sleep under 9 quilts where you couldn't turn over in the bed?
No, we slept under, it was called a feather bed, wasn't it, Mildred?
Yeah.
And when you get one of those feather beds, you don't have you don't have to worry about no quilts because it is so heavy. But we crawl. But we have slept in where there was just holes be in the crack of our house, you know, and it'd be cold. But you know, we were happy. I mean, the family were so happy back in those days. We had it hard. You worked from daylight to dark. That's all you did was work. So.
But you didn't have a stress level that we have
no.
today.
No,
because there was nothing to stress you out.
ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
And you enjoyed life.
We cooked everything. We ate. We raised everything. You know, and it was just. And she would come. You know, she had it harder than I did because she was on up. You know, and I was down lower. But still, you know, but. It's just amazing today when I think about when I ask kids, even my grandkids, they'll say, "What you talking about, Mama? What you talking about?" They don't understand.
I'll tell you another thing. Take their toilet paper out of the bathroom, put a Sears and Roebuck catalog.
Oh
in there,
yeah,
see what it's
yeah.
like.
I remember that too. Every little catalog or anything, you know. If we was fortunate enough to have one, you know, we'd get we'd say that you saved. You didn't throw away nothing. You always saved.
Did you cook on a wood stove?
Yes, ma'am.
Some of the best cornbread and biscuits
yeah,
in the world.
Oh yes,
Oh,
and put a
wow.
big old pot of pinto beans and hot dogs in that and let it cook all day.
Lord, I'm starving. We're going to take a break and we're going to leave here and we're going to go eat. No.
There was one key word they used back then, lard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
She does still uses it. She still.
There ain't nothing like a biscuit made out of lard. Woo!
Oh, I'd like to seen her back when we were growing up when we killed the hog, had her out there.
I've been there one time. Let me tell you something. You talk about I couldn't handle it. I've been to one of those events and I didn't last long.
Oh, you did?
I did not last long. That's all I'm going to say. I did not last long. They started, I'm gone. Nope, couldn't handle it.
She's a redneck living in the cities.
I'm basically a city slicker that's been here so long, I think I'm country
Well, you're
now.
just, you're just spoiled, just like
Just
a lot of
little bit.
because, you know. But now, if you run out of electricity, you need to know how to provide for yourself.
Go through your garage
Yeah.
door. That's how you do it.
Just quit parking your horse in the barn.
I know it. Well, ladies, thank you so much. Now, it's October the 4th at 6 o'clock on Cut Cane Road.
That's when the walk begins.
Okay, Cut Cane Road, and Revival runs for 5 days.
And
And let's give your phone number one more time.
it's 706-374-6563.
Okay. Thank you very much, both
And thank
of you.
y'all for having
Thank you,
us
thank
on
you.
here. We really enjoyed it.
Sit tight. We're going to take a break, and we're going to go to the weather. The weather, please, on Saturday, be 69, sunny, headed toward Hurricane Mills to see Miss Loretta Lynn.
Hurricane's the word.
Can't wait. Hush now, hush now. We're going to go to the weather. When we come back, we're going to talk. I think we're going to talk to a lady who wrote this book. Now, it says, I call you beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Is that what you call me? I love you,
No.
Bill. We'll be back in just a minute.
The paths of sin too long I've trod. Lord, I'm coming home. Coming home. Coming home. Never more to roam. Open wide thine arms of love. Lord, I'm coming home. I've wasted many precious years
call you beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. What do you call me? Boss.
Yeah, money bag.
Yeah.
Hey, I want
Yeah.
to tell people that the music you're hearing today is our new CD that's coming out. It'll be
That's
out
right.
probably within 3 or 4 weeks.
That's
and
right.
it's the old hymn book stuff.
And you can get 1, 2, or 3 of their CDs for a bargain basement price of.
Well, that one's
You've
going
got a deal going on.
yeah, that
don't
one's
you?
going to be $12, and our other previous 2 will be $10 each.
And you have a deal for $25. You get all 3.
I believe that's true.
What a
yeah.
great Christmas present. Listen, for $25, you get a whole lot of great music.
Call
so
me, yeah.
call him. He calls me boss. I call him Beautiful Blue Eyes. Now, you wrote a book called I Call You Beautiful. Tiffany, what is it? What's it about, and who inspired you to write this book?
I have a 12-year-old daughter, and my husband's a youth minister. So for the last 15 years or so, we've worked with young girls. And when mine started to become the preteen and becoming very aware of her outward appearance, my heart would just break because she's such a beautiful girl inside and out that one night I just left her room frustrated because I couldn't find the words. And I feel like the Lord just gave these words to me because, I don't know if I should say this, but it took about 10 minutes to write. It wasn't a year-long process to write. It was just my heart poured out. And I thought, I will take it and type it up and give it to her. And I took it to work, and a friend of mine read it, and she came in, she says, "You've got to get this published." I was like, I don't know how to do that. She's like, well, let's Google it. So we Googled it, and within about a month, I had a contract on it.
Wow.
Cool.
So very thankful.
So cute. Now, how many of these have sold, or how do you distribute them?
They were just released nationwide. So you can order them through Barnes & Noble, Borders, Lifeway. We're just now trying to get them in the stores, kind of a thing. I have a book signing at Miracles in Blue Ridge on October 10th. That's my next one. And so right now you can also go to my website, and it will take you to links.
Can you give them your website?
Yes, TiffanyRoathMinistries.com. I'm an inspirational speaker for ladies groups and young girls. And I just feel like we're attacked all over the place by pictures of perfection that are not really
Not
achievable.
reality. No, not
Right.
reality. Do you know, that is one of the hardest things, and Angela and I have had this talk a lot. You can never be perfect. You can never be exactly what you think people want you to look like or to be, but you can be the best you can possibly be from inside, and then the outside works itself out.
That's right.
That's why I like that show they just finished up, More to Love. Did you watch that?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
good.
No, but I love everything positive. You know, that's one of my big things. And my daughter went through a really trying time in her life when she was put down and had a lot of issues, and it was tough. It was tough, and I saw that because she wasn't perfect, and she didn't like the idea that she couldn't achieve being perfect. Nobody can. Nobody's perfect.
That's right. And that's the thing too, is really the people that they think are perfect are not.
No.
They've been photoshopped, and
That's right.
and that's such a fun thing to get to say, you know, I've got a secret. Those women don't look like that.
Yeah.
And I remember going to a Bible study, and there was a lady there that very humble, not made up. I mean, I'm not saying don't do makeup and hair.
Do
I love
makeup,
big
y'all.
hair.
We got to do the makeup. and
That's
big
why I
hair.
moved back to Georgia, because I can get away with big hair here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying don't do that, but when the majority of your focus is being placed on that and
Right.
not
From
your
within.
heart,
That's right.
you know, it shows. And like I was saying, I went to a Bible study, and there was a beautiful lady there, very simple, not made up, and I left that thinking, I hope she realizes how beautiful she is, because when your heart is right, it
That's
just
it.
it just
That's
kind
it.
of comes out. So.
Well, you've never met my daughter, but she is from within the most beautiful person in the world. And at times, she went through a crisis. She gained a lot of weight. She had a lot of issues. She did a lot of things that she couldn't be perfect. And she had somebody in her life really, really putting her down. And I saw her get as low as you can possibly get, to the point of suicide. And it was because, you know, you can't be perfect. You can't be what people expect you to be, but you can be the absolute best. You can be the best. And then just, you know, somebody told me the other day that I have a glow now I've never had. Well, Yeah, I do. And it's a happiness from within. It really is. And it doesn't matter what the outside does. It would be great, you know. I'd love to be a size 11, 5'3", weigh 129 pounds. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. But I feel very good from within. And I think that's very important.
It is, and we are all a creation of Christ. And that's what the book is about, is it's, you know, as a mother, I've called her beautiful from every time, covered in spaghetti, covered in mud, you know, with her new glasses she wasn't comfortable with. But Christ calls us beautiful when we are a reflection of Him by showing His love through our actions. And when people can see Him through us, you know, we're called beautiful. All of us, no matter how old we are. So.
Or how ugly we are.
Now, how does your daughter feel about the book? Tell me what her personal opinion was.
Well, when I read it to her, you know, I'm pouring my heart out to her. She's like, yeah, that's sweet. She was just, you know, she's 12. And, you know.
That is the toughest age for a girl. I have pictures of me when I was 12 that I would die before I would show them. Fat knees, bad hair, you know, freckles, yuck. Wouldn't show those pictures to anybody. And then you go through a little stage that it gets better, you know. But 12 is a very tough time for a girl.
It is, and you know, I think your confidence, you're starting to build confidence, and you're starting to find your identity, and those things have to develop. I'm 37. I weigh more than I ever have. I've done more things. I'm getting all the stuff you get, and I feel better about myself today than I ever have. And I think that just comes with maturity and age, and hopefully I'm working toward it. You know, I've still got a lot of work to do, but, you know, I wouldn't go back to 12 for anything. And if all I do, I started a blog, and, you know, so much is going on today that I was just going to rant and rave about it. And I got on there, I thought, you know, the world can do with one less whiny person. I'm not going to do that. So on my blog, which you can get to from my website, for moms especially, there's words of encouragement. It's how I'm praying for them. And then it is a tip on how to just grab a giggle with your kids that day. And they're inexpensive, if not just free, you know. So if any moms are out there and need some daily encouragement, please check there, because that's where my heart is. Like you said, there's so much bad news out there. You know, there's a lot of good news.
Now, how do people schedule you coming to speak to kids?
You go to my website at tiffanyroathministries.com. There's a contact link there. There's also a list of topics that I speak on, as well as other themes that I speak on, and contact me that way, or my phone number is available.
Now, do you work with your husband in the ministry?
I support him with the youth ministry. It keeps him pretty busy. We've got a very active youth group.
And what church is it?
At Temple Baptist Church. So it's...
And where is it located?
It's downtown Blue Ridge. It's right across from the train.
Okay.
So so we just have fun with that, and I'm very blessed to get to be there and help him with that.
Okay, is your child an only child?
No, I have a son who's 6, and I've written a book for him. That's probably about a year away. I kept trying to think of what to write about, because he's a little more wild, and all I kept coming up with was, where's Peyton? Has anybody seen Peyton? I mean, it's every Sunday after church. Nobody can find him. So, but I've written one for him about how wonderful he is, and that when God looks down and sees him, you know, he sees him as a little boy, but that he also sees the man that he's going to become one day. And that, you know, right now we're at you walk him into school, don't hold my hand, I can do it myself.
Oh, yes.
And
independence,
so the end of it is just about, you know, he will get too big for me to hold his hand, but how he will never be too big for God to hold his hand and to keep watch over him. So.
Wow. Now, when will that be released?
You know, that will probably be able to go into production in the fall. So it actually took over a year, close to a year, to get this, so it's probably next year before we'd see that. And I have a series of books I've written that my aunt, who's an artist, is illustrating for me. So there's plans down the road to, right now this just came out and it's a new experience, and it's kind of funny because it's so little, and after a year you pour your heart and soul into it and you get this little tiny envelope back.
Okay, I'm going to read you the back of the book. It says, I call you beautiful. We've all heard that beauty comes from within, but do we really know what that means or how to explain it? For anyone eager to find the right words to encourage a daughter, granddaughter, I Call You Beautiful is a deeply meaningful message in a culture full of lies about what makes girls lovely. I Call You Beautiful stands as a beacon of true encouragement for girls of any age. it's amazing that you saw this. Now, I see a picture of your daughter on the back. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. Looks like her dad?
She actually looks a lot more like me when I was
Does she?
younger and wasn't coloring the grays.
Oh, she admitted.
I'm not
Only-
natural. And I won't lie, that picture was taken by my friend Darcy Sanders. She's a photographer. And this is shameful, I'm going to say it though. It's been touched up. It
Has it
has.
really?
She's blotted
Okay.
this away.
She's been touched up too.
She fixed my lips on there. You know,
Really?
it's, yes.
Wow, wow.
And she said, should you do it?
So
And-
Photoshop, yeah.
yeah, and I said, it's kind of an ethical thing. It's a book on inner beauty. It's going to be around a while. Sure, go ahead and do it. I'll just tell people, there's my confession. I don't look like that picture really, but it's kind of cute.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and it says that you reside in Georgia with your husband and 2 children, and it doesn't tell anything about your church, but encourage people to come to your church. Tell them why they should show up at your church.
Absolutely. Temple Baptist Church has blessed us personally, but also it is Bible-based. And right now we're doing the Truth Project, and I don't know if you've heard about that. It's an amazing project, and we're doing it with our youth group. We're doing it with our adults. It was a little much for my middle schoolers, so I take the middle schoolers out, and every week we're putting a different lie on trial, like, you know, the earth is billions of years old, and I've set up a courtroom. We've got that. We're a very active church, ministry driven. We have Fall Festival coming up, and we do free hot dogs and everything in downtown Blue Ridge when
When is
everybody
that?
goes out
What
for
date
trick or
is that?
treating. Is that Friday or Saturday? It's Halloween when downtown Blue Ridge does the trick or treating businesses,
Okay.
everything. Then we just show up for dinner. We'll feed you for free. But it's a blessing to get to have people just come, and Roger Beck is our pastor, and a lot of people are familiar with him. He's been there a long time.
Do you do Southern gospel music?
Sometimes we have a group of 4 men, and if Greg Norton's listening, they've not
We
sung
expect you
in
to
a
be
while,
here.
and I miss them. But we have a group of 4 men that get up and sing just wonderfully, and they haven't sang in a while. So.
So
Put
here
some
you go.
pressure on
You
'em.
called them out. That's right. You called them out. Okay, if people want to get a copy of this, is it
Yes.
better to go through Barnes & Noble or to go through you? What do you prefer?
You can go either way. Either way. And if you go to my website, TiffanyRoathMinistries.com, there are links to Lifeway, Barnes & Noble, Borders. You can get everything right from there.
Okay.
So,
All right. I Call You Beautiful is written about a young, was she 12 when you wrote this?
she was 9
Okay.
or 10 when I wrote it.
Okay.
10.
We encourage you to get a copy of it, share it with your granddaughters. What's the price of the book?
It's $8.99.
Okay.
And
Less than $10, you can make them feel good about themselves.
that's right. And you know, if you read it, it's probably one that's even relevant for your daughter no matter how old she is.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break right now, and we're going to go to the obituaries. Part of life. That is part of life. And every single day I look up, and quite often I'll see somebody I know on there. And I said, you know, we are not guaranteed tomorrow. Make the most of every single day of your life. And I want to talk to you about something. Some ladies came on a couple of weeks ago. It's the annual Ride for Angels. They are very, very active in doing for this community. The first Saturday in October, Blue Ridge, Georgia. Registration starts at 8:30. This is Appalachian Community Bank, 515 next to CVS. If you need more information, you can get in touch with them at 706-632-0390. If you remember, this will fund Christmas for many, many children in Fannin County that will not have Christmas without this. So please get in touch with them. And if you have a Harley, if you have a Honda, if you have a moped, if you have a tricycle and you like to ride with them, get in touch with them, and please show up and do that, and bring a gift for a child too if you'd like to do that. So right now we're going to go to the obits. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about things that matter to me.
My heavenly home is bright and fair. I feel like traveling on. Nor pain nor death shall enter there. I feel like traveling on. Yes, I feel like traveling on. I feel like traveling on. My heavenly home is bright and fair. I feel like traveling on. The Lord has been so good to me. I feel like traveling feel like traveling, traveling on. I feel like traveling, traveling on. My heavenly home is bright and fair. I feel like traveling on. Yes, I feel like traveling, traveling on. I feel like traveling, traveling on. My heavenly home is bright and fair. I feel like traveling on. My heavenly home is bright and fair. I feel like traveling on. Egypt was once my home, I was a slave. Helpless in sin did roam, love light did crave. But when I looked up to heaven's dome, Christ came to save. I'm living in Canaan now.
Living on Canaan's side,
Egypt behind,
crossed over Jordan wide.
gladness to find. My soul is satisfied. No longer blind, living with Jesus up in Canaan right now.
Oh my earpiece just blew out. I don't know what happened, you know.
music you're hearing.
It's that, yeah, it's Bill's music. Okay, we're back, and I want to tell you about something. It says free food.
Hey.
In today's world,
Dear to my heart.
it is a sad time, but there are people who are going to food banks in droves. I mean, the lines are incredible. The outpouring is unbelievable. An early sign up for Christmas at Talking Rock. We will also be serving sandwich and salad lunch that day at Talking Rock First Baptist Church, Thursday, October the 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You know, never in my lifetime have I ever seen people need help in every aspect, whether it be work, financial, housing, food. There's never been a time, and we're joined by a lady who is talking family counseling. Do you think today, when people are down and out, they need somebody to talk to, they need somebody to share their experience, and you do it based on the Bible, so they really need that? Are you seeing more need than you ever thought of?
Actually, this time in our society, people have no anchor. They have nothing to really, no frame of reference. They're facing things that they've never thought they would have to face in their life. People who have made a lot of money are now struggling to have food for their families. People who have had good businesses are now bankrupt. And my husband is a lawyer in Blue Ridge, and I run a family counseling center, and we both are seeing such a struggle in our society right now. People need the help, and yet they don't have the money to seek it. So what we try to do is to be there and to really give those people that support that they need during these really crisis times. The kind of counseling I do is very biblically based. It's called nouthetic counseling, which means a Bible-based counseling. And there's actually 4 of us in this area that use this kind of counseling. So there are resources for people that need just to talk things through. You know, sometimes when people have nothing or have lost everything or having such struggles with their families, they turn on each other.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't really mean to take out that frustration on each other, nor do they need to. But they need somebody just to talk it through with them and to get them kind of back to the basics, back to where they can understand that God's in control even though we don't see it. And that all those things that they used to believe and that faith that they used to have, that's really what will carry them through these really hard times.
Oh, yes.
And that there is a purpose and a way to grow while they're involved in these really hard struggles. And even without the financial things that are going on, we all face things that we can't deal with by ourselves, as you know, Cherie. I mean, even though we don't think that's going to happen to us, down the road, that might be us. And we need to stop and really look at who God is and how he really relates to us in our life and how we can have that strength no matter what's happening around us.
When you were talking, I was thinking about an email. I've gotten this quite often, and it's about, I think it's a lady who was in a McDonald's, and a gentleman was in line behind her who needed a bath, needed a haircut, smelled terribly.
Yes.
And it was a cold day, and he had come inside to get a cup of coffee just to stay warm. He was homeless, and she talked to him and bought him a meal and gave it to him. And she said, I always looked at that as, what if Jesus was standing in line behind me? You know, and I've seen that email 50 or 100 times. And every time I stop and read that email, because I know that during today's times, we are very close to a man upstairs coming back and saying, enough, enough. What if you're standing on a corner in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and some person looks at you that you think, I don't know if I should help them, I don't know if I should do this, and then you look around and all of a sudden it's somebody you've known forever that was a very successful businessman, and now he's not. He's not. He is as down and out as it goes.
You and I both are seeing that.
Oh, it is amazing. It is amazing. And you just look, we have to help each other through this.
That's right. And sometimes those people, the ones that you know that have been so successful, they're the most reluctant to accept help.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Can you imagine
Especially
being?
men.
Yeah, especially men. But when it's their families at stake, they're more acceptable of the help that we can give. But there are people out there like me and you and others that are standing ready to do just that. You know, there's nobody that taps me on the shoulder and says, help, that I don't just stop everything I'm doing and do just that. And I know you do the same thing. And I think if people that are in need really just say, okay, I need help. And I think they would find that there's so many of us out there that are just really ready to help.
Well, you used a key word a minute ago called anchor. And
Yes.
if I'm in trouble, I look at it like a ship being tossed on the sea. I want
That's
an anchor
right.
to hold me strong. Well, and if I'm needing help, I want somebody there that's bigger than my problems, not somebody that's lesser than my problems. And so I'm glad you're teaching what you're, or at least counseling what you are, because you're telling them about the anchor.
Right, and you're going back to James in the first chapter, and about the 8th and 10th verses, 8 through 10.
That's right.
Where God tells us if we lack wisdom, all we have to do is ask, that he will be our anchor, but not to ask like we don't even think he's going to do it, because that's like being on a wave that's tossed by the sea.
No faith in that.
No.
Yeah, no
Yesterday, I was given the sweetest card, and it's out in my car. I should have brought it in to read, but I was sitting there reading it, and Carrie, thank you very, very much for this. I was reading it, and it's talking about your problems. When you think your problems are this huge monumental thing, and you're like, God, do you know how big my problems are? And then you open the card, and it says, do you know how big my God is?
Yes.
And I thought, whoa, did I need that today?
Yeah.
Whoa, did I need that today?
And sometimes that's all we need is just a reminder. We know it, you know, particularly if you've grown up really with a strong faith and a strong belief. And then you get in trouble. And you kind of go, oh, where's God? But God is still in the same place. And we just have
He
to have
hasn't
a
moved, has he?
reminder. He hasn't moved. But we just need a reminder that he is still there with us.
Well, faith to me is a confidence. And if I
Yes.
have confidence in God to help me through what I'm going through, then I feel comfort.
Right. Now, there are 4 of us in the area that are counseling in this way. I brought the names. You probably know Tony and Bill Morgan, and they have a counseling center, Faith Family Ministries. And Bill and Tony have been at this a long time. Now, what they have is a retreat center, and it's specifically for families that are in pretty serious trouble. Marvin McRoberts, and we call him Mac, and he has his counseling center downstairs at the associational office. They're off of 515. He's a really good Christian counselor. And then Gary Barber, and he used to be pastor at First at McKaysville First Baptist Church. And now he has gone down to Jasper, and he works just outside of Big Canoe on the Free Foothills Community Church property.
We know where that is.
Yeah, and he has a really good, but all of us, the four of us, we use Bible-based counseling. And by the way, we're pretty reasonable in our rates. We don't try to make money at what we do. You know,
I was going to ask you how in the world, because I'm sitting here thinking of a situation. I have 2 grandchildren who desperately needed counseling.
Right.
Couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
It was $150.
Yeah.
It was $150 a week. Now you've got 2 children in trouble because of family issues.
Yes.
That's $300 a week. Who could pay that in today's world? How do you deal with that?
And how do you justify, you know, charging those prices when somebody's in need? I can't do it. In the good times, I did. You know, $150 was my fee. But now I work with the family. You know, I like to say I charge $40 a session, but there are a lot of people that come through my office that I don't charge anything.
Well, let me ask you something. I got something in the mail, and boy, I wish I'd brought it in here. It was from somebody saying, the government will help you with your phone bills if your phone bills are too high. And I'm thinking, government, get out of my life. Government, get out of my life. What if the government sent you a grant so you could provide counseling? Are there grants available for things like that?
There probably are. I choose not to associate myself with the state
Amen.
or the
Amen,
government.
brother.
I have my counseling degree, and I've also got a lot of seminary training. However, I really do not have a license from the state of Georgia because I do not want to be bound by any of their rules.
There you go.
Right.
What I do,
Because they would tell you what you can say and what you
they
can't
tell me
say.
what I can
Yeah.
say and what I can't, and they tell me what I have to report. So I am not bound by that. And because of that, I feel like I have the freedom to say and do what I need to do that people need. And that's one thing that I've really held to. And it's hard to do.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because the money's out there.
Have you ever spent time in Bartow County?
Yes, I have. I actually graduated from high school there.
Cartersville High School?
Yeah.
So did I.
Oops, did I really need to say that?
I
He
did too.
Yeah.
He did too. Yeah, yeah.
Good place.
Well, people have to be encouraged. They have to
Yes.
be lifted up. I met a man Saturday night that needed that so desperately, and he was just really down. If I looked at economics, I could be depressed.
Yes.
If I looked at things that happened to me, I could be depressed. But instead, I look at the amazing life I have today.
Well, I look
we
at,
gotta move on.
and you may be the same, I look at the bigger picture. There's something much bigger than what we're going through.
Yes.
Much bigger. And you can have confidence in it.
Yeah, yeah, and I see great things happening in the next 2 years. I really do, and I'm so positive and so pumped up, and I just sometimes I giggle, and it's kind of dumb because things are not really good. You know, economically, we've taken a huge hit. My house isn't selling. Things aren't happening like I wanted them to, and sometimes I just sit around and giggle.
But you can't take it with you anyway.
No,
But you know, we have a new paradigm. I mean, this whole economic shift has shifted us into a new paradigm. Life is not going to be the same it was 5 years ago.
No.
It never will go back there. But one thing that you said a while ago, God doesn't change. He's still in control. And things around us are changing so fast and becoming so different. But we can still hold on to that God doesn't change, that He is still the same way that I told a story to our young people the other day about Balaam and his donkey, the donkey who stopped and talked to him and said, "Why are you beating me?" And it's really a funny story in the Old Testament. And it helped remind me again that God reacted to Balaam just like He does to us today. He stops us in our tracks, no matter what's happening that is wrong in our life, and says, "Wait a minute. Look at me. I am really in control. I'm going to take care of all this." And I heard you say that, Bill, a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, and what Tiffany is doing. These are the things that really matter. Tiffany is saying to her child, "You're beautiful. It doesn't matter what the world says. You're beautiful."
Oh, yeah.
And that's what God says to us. Forget that bad stuff. I'm in control. It's going to be okay. Don't beat up each other.
No. Do you know, I have never once, even though lately there have been some down days, down crazy days, I never once thought that this is not going to be okay and it's not going to be fine. And that was something Angela couldn't deal with. She saw it negative, negative, negative. And I'm like, that never hit me. And then on Saturday, after we kind of had a few days to take this in, I did cry. And I cried and I cried and I cried. And then I kind of said, okay, now I've cried and we're moving on. Because I never did lose faith that this will all be okay.
Yeah.
Everything, the economics will be okay. It will all be okay. It will strengthen us. I think every single person dealing with the things we're facing today will be stronger. I think I will be wiser. I can tell you that.
Yes.
There's going to be some wise between these ears because I have learned a lot.
Well, I go back to the old song, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul.
But you
That's
know,
the bigger
Bill,
picture.
the point here is that's a choice.
Right.
And yes,
It is a
everything
choice.
can be beautiful.
It is a choice.
But you can choose to let those things get you down and you just destroy you. There are choices, and that's exactly the thing that we are here to help with, to help make those right choices, to help to remind you that God is in control. There are too many people that say when these things happen, I give up. I can't do it anymore.
I have never imagined giving up. I couldn't give up.
Or
You
they
wouldn't
don't
give
know
the
it,
devil his due. There's
I
no
know.
way.
But
No.
there are so many people that
Oh,
do.
no.
They can't see past
It makes
those
me
bad
stronger.
things.
It makes me tougher. It
should.
makes me wiser.
Yes.
And sometimes it makes me just think, man, I'm going to overcome this, and I'm
Yes.
going to get through it. And I'm going to tell y'all, a lot of mornings I open my door and the devil is standing there. And I take this number 9 and I kick him as hard as I can and I move on because quite often everybody is faced with something you think you can't handle. And you just kind of handle it and move on. And you do. And it is amazing to me. At Salem number 2 last week, I saw the church full, the fellowship, the people. I don't think one person sitting there was worried about whether the economy is going to turn around. We were all doing what we needed to do for ourselves that moment, and it was enjoy a great gospel singing.
And
the
you were
Spirit was
worshiping
there.
God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the Spirit was there.
And it was outside of who you are. It was
amazing.
about Him.
It was amazing.
And that's what's so, we can do that, but it's a choice.
Well, I would like
It's
to,
a choice.
as much as anybody else, as an American, I would like to enjoy what we have in this life. I'd like to enjoy the fruits and the blessings of it.
And your
But this,
children.
Yeah, but this life is full of sorrow and trouble.
Yes.
And we need to understand that. There's a better life ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Well, can we give your phone number and can we give a
Sure.
couple? Do you have any of these other people's phone numbers?
Yes, I didn't bring their phone numbers, but I brought these 3 people, their businesses, and they can
Okay.
easily find them
Okay.
with that.
All right, and what's your phone number?
I gave your boy my card, so
Okay,
yeah.
there you go. There you
and
go.
it's got
Delores
my
Tucker.
phone number on it.
And she happens to be married to wonderful John Tucker, who keeps you in line.
Oh,
doesn't he?
there's my card right there.
If you need counseling, if you would like to talk, if you would like to,
Yes.
it does make you feel better sometimes to get this out. I'm lucky enough to have a lot of people to vent to. Thank God for my friends. And Joyce Bryson is one of those. She can always read me like a
Yes.
book.
Joyce
and she
is
called you and
amazing.
said, Cherie needs some help. I have had a very down week, but I choose to lift
I think she
myself
was
back up.
really worried about
She
you.
was worried about me, and I know that, Joyce, I love you for that. But yeah, sometimes even I get depressed and I let things get me down. So right now we're going to take a break and we're going to go to some photos of some ladies down in Ball Ground, Georgia. Now, we've talked about old times today. We've talked about new times. We've talked about a new beginning, and the new beginning is lift yourself up and look only to the future and to good things. These ladies are in photos in Ball Ground, Georgia at Dot's Restaurant. Now, Miss Dot has been there for 42 years. I would say when she started serving plates of food, it was probably maybe 50 cents for a plate of food. Today, what is it, $5.95 to get a meal, meat and 2
least.
vegetables? Yeah. But they've been together a long, long time, and we're going to show these photos of them, and then we're going to go to our sponsors. And remember, if you'd like to come on board as a sponsor, we welcome you. Please call our advertising department, 706-253-2271. Let's go to our sponsors and then right to Rich, Scott, and Trading Time. We're back. Okay, I've got some goodies to read for you. I love when there's good news. Thank you for the prayers for Eddie's brother. We want to thank each and every one for the prayers that were sent up for Eddie's brother, Carl. He had a good report that the tumor has started to shrink. He is getting the strength back he needs to fight for his life. Please keep him in your prayers, for he has a long way to go. God bless each and every one. Betty, Eddie, and Jacqueline Bingham. We lift Angie up to God every night so he hears even the smallest prayer. Thank you very much. Welcome Valley Church in Ball Ground will be running a revival September 27th through October the 3rd. It starts at 7:30 at night, and everyone is welcome. And, you know, there are a lot of revivals going on. If you haven't let us know, please do that. Also, there is a reunion to recognize the 40th anniversary of the opening of Pickens General Hospital. Now, I don't know about y'all, but my granddaughter, Victoria, was born at Pickens General Hospital. When it was Pickens General, she is 21 years old now. I remember the moment that precious child came into the world, and her doctor, Dr. Perot, was there, and it was an amazing day. She is an amazing young lady, and we're very, very proud of her. There's going to be a reception for the hospital's 40th anniversary. If you'd like to attend, please call Linda Hughes at 706-692-9393. Or Miss Frances Townsend at 706-337-5976. There you go. Have you got an announcement?
Well, I got an announcement. Our group, First Mountain City Quartet, will be at Carter Cave Baptist this Sunday night, I believe at 6:30, and at Brothers Restaurant on October 4th that evening. So we got some trading time stuff there too. I think we'll let Rich do that.
I'm just throwing stuff everywhere. This is so funny. It is Rich Scott's trading time stuff. I'm not going to do trading time. I've got enough jobs,
I'll
for
trade
goodness sake. What you going to trade me for?
Stick of gum.
A stick of gum? Nah, you're going to have to keep me. You know, we're going to go right now to some keepers, the Booth brothers. They are true
Award-winning
keepers.
Booth
Award-winning, won many, many awards. We talked about it this week. We do hope to have them back in the area in January with the Diplomats. Jimmy's working on that for us.
Hey, they'll be at First Baptist Atlanta this Sunday.
They will be. Would you
In the
go to
morning.
Atlanta for anything?
I'll go to Charles Stanley's church, yeah.
It's a great church.
And Greater Vision will be there
It is
Sunday night.
Great church. But I don't want to drive to Atlanta right now. Part of Atlanta is still underwater. So we'll just stay up here. But now tell us again the church you're going to be in Sunday.
Carter Cave Baptist Church.
Carter Cave?
Here in LJ.
Okay.
And then at the Brothers Restaurant on the following Sunday night.
And I'm going to try to be there.
Cool.
Don't forget the singing convention is this Sunday. Right now, we're going to go to, you can pretend this is a singing convention, is an amazing entertainment by the Booth brothers. And you know what? They are not entertainers, they are ministers. Ministers of music.
All right, guys, you know this. We got to clap along now. Well, I've been to the river. I've been baptized. I've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. I've been changed from the creature that once I was, and redeemed is now my name. I've been changed. I'm newborn now. My life has been rearranged. What a difference it made when the Lord came and stayed in my heart. Oh yes, I've been changed. Though my sins were scarlet, they're white as snow. I was bound, but today I am free. I was lost in the darkness, but now am found. I was blind, but now I see. I've been changed. I'm newborn now. My life has been rearranged. What a difference it made when the Lord came and stayed in my heart. Oh yes, I've been changed. Like the poor Hebrew children, I wandered long in a bare desert land to and fro. But I've crossed over Jordan to Canaan's land, where the milk and honey flow. When at last in His presence I stand above, He will wipe all the tears from my eyes, and I'll thank Him for giving a wretch like me lasting hope beyond the skies. I've been changed. I'm newborn now. My life has been rearranged. What a difference it made when the Lord came and stayed in my heart. Oh yes, I've been changed. What a difference it made when the Lord
Welcome back.
stuff.
Well, we would not be available without our sponsors. And I have to say thank you to Logan Funeral Home and Chapel, where we listen to what you have to say. You are important. They sponsored the obits today. And our other sponsors, Huff Drugs, Papa's Pizza, who else is on there today?
Blue
The Blue Star and Roper Funeral Home. Thank you to each and every one of them. And if you don't know those nice folks, go by and get to know all of them. So
We're not sponsored by the White House out of Washington or anything?
no, he hasn't sent us any money. Although I did laugh when I got that letter in my mailbox and it said, if you're having trouble paying your phone bill, contact Washington. Maybe they're going to send us some money. You need to send me about $2,300 a month because that's what my phone bills are. So
That cash for clunkers thing, I guess, is done, ain't it?
well, it's hysterical. Now they're working on something else, and I just laugh about it. We're going to work on giving you something. I have some Mayfield coupons, milk and ice cream, and we're going to do two different things. If y'all can tell me, oh, this is so simple. Lord, why do I make it so easy on these folks? If you can tell me what church Bill Siniard's group, First Mountain City, is going to be singing at this week, you're going to win the Mayfield coupons. If you can tell me what church the Booth brothers are going to be singing at, this is very simple. Now that man at that church is a big to-do.
He's
isn't
a
he?
very big to-do,
He's a
very
big
good
to-do.
speaker. I mean,
Have you ever heard him in person?
No, my daughter Kaylee has. She said she was just blown away. Of course, the man knows his stuff. He really does.
He does.
Yeah.
Now, tell us, compare him to an evangelist. Tell me how would you code him if you had to describe him?
I would say he's probably the ultimate teacher.
Teacher.
Yeah. I mean, some people may not classify him as a preacher, but I kind of do. But man, some guys can teach and preach and all that, but they'll lose your attention.
Right.
Well, this guy does not. I mean,
Yeah.
from the time he starts, from the time he finishes, you're just like, okay, give me more, give me more, give me more. That kind of guy.
Marilyn Beavers knew that you're going to
Carolyn
be
Beavers.
Carolyn Beavers. Okay, she knew that you are going to be at Carter K this
Carter K
weekend.
Baptist Church.
Okay, and also for you folks who like old time singing conventions, please come to Jasper to First Baptist Church. That will be Sunday starting at 2:00. I'm going to see Loretta Lynn, and tomorrow y'all are going to get to see something. And this is old footage, and everybody knows "Love Is the Foundation" is my song. That is what gets me going every day. She sings this to Doolittle Lynn and cries, and he
please.
cries. And he cries, and she cries, and I'm going to tell y'all something. It is some footage we're bringing in tomorrow if we can get the VCR to work, because it's so old, it's VCR tape. And we haven't
I've got
converted
plenty
it
of
to DVD. So, but it is her singing to her husband, and he's sitting there, and the tears are pouring. It is just as he begins his illness that eventually took him out of here. But that "Love Is the Foundation" is going to, tomorrow's program is about love.
Sounds like a 60s song.
Angela's going to be here, Dan Elliott's going to be here, Freddie's going to be here. Tomorrow's program is about loving each other, getting through tough times by loving each other. And we're going to start with "Love Is the Foundation," because love is the foundation of everything positive that works in your life. I learned after 7 years of being alone that love is very, very important.
Why don't you change yours to "Love is a many splendid thing"? You don't like that one?
Loretta Lynn is not singing that song.
Hey, we got a winner on the
We do?
question. Sandy Daughtry knew that Charles Stanley, where he preaches at
That's
First
right,
Baptist of
that's right.
Atlanta.
And Sandy, thank you for your prayers. Thank you for every positive message you've sent me. This has been an amazing 10 days.
But if you want to see the Booth brothers Sunday morning, that's where they'll be at First Baptist in Atlanta, and then Greater Vision will be there that night. So you can get a whole
How do you
full day
get to
concert.
that church? Exactly where is it?
Last time I saw, it was off of 285 before you get to Chamblee Tucker.
Which is near 400,
Peachtree
the
Industrial.
interchange at 400.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So anyway, it's right near the interstate. They got the old Avon building.
Yeah, he just said two words I don't want to hear. Atlanta and 285. I'm not going to do that.
As fast as you drive, you'll blend right in
I
with those
love to
folks.
hear that man preach,
285.
but I can love to hear him on TV. And I love the Booth brothers, but I'm not driving down there.
Oh, well.
I will drive back here in the morning just like I do Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday. Will you notice I don't miss work? I don't miss work. Angela doesn't miss work either, y'all. She'll be here a few minutes tomorrow. She's not going to last long, but we're going to keep her here just to let you see her and send your positive thoughts to her. From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Cherie Martin.
And I'm Mark Martin.
He's Bill Siniard. Mark Martin won a race. Yay, Mark Martin. Go, Mark Martin. You're Bill Siniard. From North Georgia Now Today, we never say goodbye. We say see you later, only on ETC3. We will be here, and you be here too. Don't you touch your dial. Rich Scott is coming on with an amazing bargain in a double wide and 5 acres at Creek in a nice small pond in Ball Ground, Georgia. For the price of $62.5, it can be yours. Stay tuned to Trading Time.